What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Okay. Hopefully the stream is running okay now. Just had to make sure I had a lot of stuff to do, so that's why I was super late today. Um, Guys, I'm really excited to be doing this episode. There's some awesome stuff to talk about. So yeah, I just finished Lord of the Rings, so we actually got to put Lord of the Rings in here today. It was originally just going to be the first three episodes of She-Hulk and the first eight, I believe it's 8 episodes of Harley Quinn. So we're gonna do those and Lord of the Rings today. So what is after show? You guys probably have no clue what the after show, this live show is. Some of you probably missed the announcement or just haven't heard about this yet, and maybe you're just coming into the channel for the first time. If so, welcome. My name is Abe. I'm one of the hosts here. We're starting to build a small little community and a small team to make content for that community. And I am one of the main hosts. And today, we're going to be talking about She-Hulk, Lord of the Rings, and Harley Quinn. We're breaking them down in full spoiler detail. That's why we got the spoilers warning up there in the actual overlay here, so that so anybody who clicks in knows that we're talking about spoilery stuff, so they know to just click out if they haven't seen anything. But for everybody who is here that hasn't seen that has seen these shows, get ready, because we're going to talk about it full spoilery details. I got some questions to throw out, and hopefully you guys are going to have some comments to throw back at us. So here's how this is going to work. I'm going to spend the first half of the show just talking about the topics of the actual shows. My thoughts, my theories, and my questions. And then, hopefully, at the end, towards near the end here, we'll get some of your comments and questions in here. Now, look, we're a small channel. We have a small community. And I know that there's not a lot of people who are interacting currently. But, and also, a lot of you will probably be watching this as a VOD or a playback on the main channel later on, and not as live with everybody else currently. But regardless, jump down in the comment section, leave comments, because even if it's after the show, I'll probably still respond, and we'll probably still continue the conversation even then. But yeah, guys, so your comments and questions, I'm going to address all of that towards the end of the show, but we're going to start off talking about what I think about everything. Okay, here we go. All right, let's get into, what should we start with? You know what, let's just start with Lord of the Rings. I just watched it today, both episodes, and so those are my freshest thoughts. So look, the first off, absolutely ridiculously stunning visuals. Boom. What the damn. Just damn. Now, I really hadn't really watched the trailers. I wasn't crazy, super ridiculously excited for this. I haven't seen the Lord of the Rings movies in probably 7-8 years or longer. It's been a really long time. I think when they did the Hobbit, the movie, the first Hobbit movie, out of the Hobbit trilogy they did, I think that was the last time I watched any Lord of the Rings things. So I wasn't super crazy excited about it, but it's Lord of the Rings. I haven't hated anything that I've seen from Lord of the Rings. So of course I was going to watch it. And let me tell you, I was thoroughly impressed. I was actually genuinely impressed by this show, both episodes. I know a lot of people said that first episode was really slow, or it's too slow for them. I can't agree with people when they unless something is really goddamn slow. This first episode was not that slow. There was plenty of interesting things that keep you like that first hour felt like 15 minutes to me. It wasn't at all, but it really just was like whoop, bam, bam, and I'm like, oh shit, all right, we're on to the next one. Now apparently I may be alone in that, but I look, I got heavily invested into it because it was just the visuals stunning. That I mean the world building phenomenal. Absolutely loved what they're doing for this show so far. Um, Now, of course, we all know things that can change, midway through, and it could fall off really hard. But I am very, very intrigued. That first episode, the visuals alone were so enthralling that I was just like I wasn't even paying attention to the story, it felt like. But to be fair, there wasn't like a ton of crazy stuff happening in the first episode, which I guess that's why people say it's slow. But everything was just very well put together, extremely well put together. It felt like actually watching a really, really big budget movie, which was the most surprising thing. A lot of shows nowadays completely blur the lines between quality for movies and TV shows. This shatters that, just absolutely shatters that. Thoroughly enjoyed that first episode. There were also interesting characters. I find all of the characters fairly interesting. All the ones that we're kind of mainly focusing on seem interesting, and they seem to each have some important plot lines happening. And so far, I'm digging it, and I just like the characters that they're presenting. I like the world they're presenting. I like the visuals are just... It's just eye fucking candy at this point. I mean, really, it really is. So I really enjoyed that first episode. The second episode takes everything from that first episode and just cranks it up. It just cranks it up because now we're exploring the narrative more. We're diving into more mysteries. We're bringing the orcs back. The danger starts to slowly set in. And the deeper narrative of this show and where this show is going fully sets in, which is, of course, like what a second episode is supposed to do, or, the second, third, fourth, whatever. The early episodes it's like world build, introduction, and then push you forward. And that's exactly what these first two episodes did. Perfectly. So I have zero complaints. I don't know about anybody else. I know there was a lot of really high praise from early screenings of the first two episodes. I would also give this a lot of high praise. I think it's absolutely fantastic so far. And I mean, there's so many interesting things. The asteroid man. I don't really know who that character is, but I have theories, and I'm curious to see. I'm just curious on what that plot line is. It was very sudden at the end of the first episode, and then you carry it into the second episode, and it's like, oh, this is interesting. I want to know where this mystery goes. Like, I think that might be one of the things I'm most interested in seeing play out. Potentially. Also, I'm going to screw up her name. I know I'm going to screw it up. So I'm not even going to say it. You guys know it's the elf, the warrior, the woman. It starts with G. but because I'm a Magic the Gathering player, so if any of you Magic the Gathering players are out there, I keep wanting to say Glenn Alendra. And I know that's not her fucking name. I know for a fact that's not her fucking name. But I keep wanting to say that just because it's very... it starts similarly, okay? Just, all right, make fun of me in the comments. I don't care. But yeah. I for the life of me, I really can't remember how to pronounce her damn name. Or just her name in general. It starts with a G. That's all I can remember. But anyway, I really like her character. I really liked where that her whole path seems to be going, and of course, she's Kate Blanchett's character, I believe, from the Peter Jackson films. I think that's the same character. I mean, I could be wrong there. Correct me if I am. But yeah, I think that's the same character. I really like where her character arc is seemingly going. I really want to follow and see everything about that. Just basically, I'm enthralled. I'm on board. I can't wait to watch more of it. I can't wait to break more of it down on After Show with you guys because I really like it. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. Let's talk about the next one. Let's take a second here. Let's take a little breather. I'm going to take a drink of this. Absolutely 100% not sponsored, but just awesome. If you know, you know. Okay, so let's start talking about She-Hulk. Got 3 episodes to go through here. We're gonna save Harley Quinn for last because we got friggin' 8 episodes. I'm not gonna go in depth with each episode. More, I'm probably just gonna do like a recap and kind of talk about my favorite things from the season so far, my favorite episodes so far, and just kind of talk about the season so far in general, and why I'm excited for next episode. Because I think the next episode is gonna be great. But we'll get into that after a bit here. Let's talk about She-Hulk. Now, I love She-Hulk. Yep, I said it. I know. Wow. Woo. Anybody who, anybody who doesn't, if you don't like it just because it's just not your style, the whole comedy bit and the whole lawyer show thing and the whole, if that's not your thing, it's not your jam, it's not your tone, that's fine. There's other people who do not like this show before they even goddamn seen it, and we'll poke some fun there after a little bit. But yeah, I am not one of those ridiculous people. I actually quite enjoy the show. Most of Marvel stuff I enjoy. I liked Thor 4, and apparently just people fucking don't, and I just disagree. Hot take, whatever, fuck it. I don't care. I actually really enjoyed watching that film, which is that's the point, man. If you go and you just enjoy things, just go and enjoy things, man. Just go enjoy things. If you don't enjoy your time watching it, oh well, move on. There are other things you're probably going to enjoy, unless you just don't enjoy anything, which that's just fucking sad. But yeah. Anyway, rant over. We'll save that for the second channel when we do some raging and ranting. No, but for real, I really enjoy She-Hulk. I have not been disappointed. There's only one thing that has disappointed me, and it was in episode 2. And we'll get to that in a second. Let's just talk about the first episode. Alright, so the first episode, you get her origins, which is a different origins from the comics, which is actually kind of makes a little bit more sense than the comics did, to be fair, because she was gunned down and just had a blood transfusion from Bruce. Because, Bruce is apparently the only person in the that could give his blood to her. Again, not the most sensical thing. So they went for a slightly more sensical approach with the car crash. Blood gets into blood. Bam. Accidentally. Well, whoops, now you're a Hulk. Which is fine. It's really simple. It's really clean. It makes enough sense that we can just move past it and get into the story. Which is good. I liked that. That was fine with me. And the actual origin sequence and everything was fantastic. It was fun. It was enjoyable to watch. It was funny. And it actually had a lot more heart than I was expecting, which is the one thing I've been really enjoying about the show. It's got a lot of human elements to it, a lot of just relatable stuff, and it's just been good so far. It's just been good so far. I like the writing. I enjoy the comedy so far, and yeah, that's what they set up there. Also, we got to see Bruce back. I loved all of the little moments of Bruce were fantastic here. Now, like a lot of people, yes, I would have loved to seen, like a World War Hulk, a Hulk that is the world breaker Hulk. But I don't hate Smart Hulk. I don't I don't necessarily love that we're at this more peaceful spot in the Hulk's character arc, but I'm really hoping the whole Sakaar element in that whole mystery plot that they set up in the first episode and continued in the second episode, I really am hoping we get some really badass Planet Hulk, World War Hulk-esque storyline with the Hulk and potentially Hulk's son. I think that would be fantastic, and it would be a way to get a little bit more of that World Breaker Hulk back into the MCU as the MCU is right now. I think I think that's going to be cool. I think we're setting it up. It feels like it. I can't say for sure, but it really feels like we are. And if we are, yes, count me the fuck in. Okay. All right. So again, and the Captain America, that joke, that whole running joke, that top 5 funniest shit in all of the MCU, hands down. It's so funny. It's just absolutely just hilarious. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Okay, so episode 2 then. It starts off right where the first episode ended, where Titania breaks through the courtroom wall and is causing havoc, and we find out that basically because Jen she had to, it was the right thing to do to show that she is the Hulk now to the rest of the world. It backfires. She gets fired from her job because she's a liability. Because what if the juries always pick the side of the superhero? Like, how can they deal with that? Blah, blah, blah. And we set up that problem and pay it off by her getting hired by the people who basically got her fired. And that was the GLK and H, I believe was the name of, GLK, GLK and H, whatever. That lawyer firm, which also then starts a superhuman law division and hires her for them. Love that. That was very clean. I like how they got us to that. Now, and then we get into the first major case. At least we started it. Emil Blonsky. We finally got the Abomination and Emil back. For the first time since the original 2008 Hulk movie. And that originally starred Edward Norton, which we'll talk about something really funny about that in a minute. Also, this is the MCU finally saying, yes, that movie does exist in our timeline. So, yes, that story exists. Yes, those characters still exist in this universe. I mean, we knew that. I mean, hardcore fans knew that, but a lot of people try to say that it's not actually canon. No, it is 100% in the MCU. It is canon. Throughout that entire movie, Stark Industries stuff is there, and then again, Tony Stark shows up in the damn post-credit scene, and again, the actor, the late great William Hurt, who just recently passed away, did continue to play his role as General Ross in the MCU this entire time. So, like that, uh, again, the through lines are there, and this was just kind of like, yeah, yes, the things that happened in that movie did happen in this universe. So finally we got that confirmation, which is nice. Which also leads into one of my just favorite jokes one of my top 3 favorite jokes of this series so far, and that's the that was so long ago I was a completely different person, literally. That was just one of the most genius fourth wall break jokes that they could have done. Delivered by the Hulk, and it's so good. It's so good. It's so funny. It's fantastic. Absolutely loved it. By the way, I just love the vibe of this show. I like the idea of this show. It's a lighthearted comedic show with some great heart elements to it that are very human, and it's just, I like the lawyer aspect of it because we get to play with a lot of extra characters and get to explore a little bit more of the MCU. And again, that's kind of what Phase 4 has been doing. Has been a lot of exploration to see what the universe is like after Endgame and Infinity War. And this is just kind of doing that. Again, we're almost at the end of Phase 4 here. Which, by the way, D23 is this coming weekend, guys. So a week from tonight, I should say, which is 9/3. So, yeah, I can't believe that on the 10th of September, we are officially, which is, again, 7 days away, we're officially going to be looking at potentially, who the hell knows at this point. Like, I am very certain there are going to be some big bombshell announcements that I'm really, really excited about. Really excited about. Anyway, back to She-Hulk. But yeah, so again, I really like the vibe of this show. I like what we're doing with it, and I very much appreciated it. Speaking of that exploration and widening of the MCU, we got a Wolverine reference. Yes. Man with metal claws gets into a bar fight. That little tagline Easter egg was just fantastic. That was the little cherry on top. Now, oh yeah, in the Sakaar mystery, again, I talked about this before. So we get Hulk, he jumps into the spaceship, the Sakaar spaceship, and we're seeing him willingly, it looks like, in the spaceship. It looked like he was by himself. We really don't know. There's got to be something going on there. And again, it sets up that mystery that, I really hope we're doing some kind of Planet Hulk, World War Hulk type of story. It's not going to be the same story. It's definitely not going to be the same story. We're not going to be doing like the Avengers versus Hulk in a World War Hulk type of scenario, because I don't think there's anything like right now. The Avengers, they exist, but who the hell are they? Like we're asking that question a lot. We're probably going to continue to ask that question. Hey, at D23, we might find out an answer to that. At least a little bit of one. We might find out a little bit about the characters and potentially some of the cast of the next 2 Avengers movies. Potentially. I am 100% expecting Fantastic Four will finally get the cast announcement for that. But anyway, I digress. Going back, my one big issue with the second episode. Way too goddamn short. They should have dropped like the first 2 episodes together, just to get that quick origin out of the way, because you get to the 3rd episode, now there's the beginning, a middle, and end. There's this full story arc that happens in that 3rd episode, and it plays out in its entirety. That 2nd episode was like set up. It's over. Like, what? No. Hold on. Which again, it feels like it was immediately rectified with that 3rd episode. I'm feeling like these first 2 episodes again, I think there was talk about how the original origin, how like as the second episode was kind of the first episode of the show. Um, and so that I think that's why that second episode was so short and so cut down, because that was originally like and then the actual origin that we see was supposed to be later in the show. But they decided that didn't work for them, so they put it as the first episode. When they were doing that, when they were cutting around and when they were changing things, I think that made that second episode really suffer. The first episode was good. It was perfectly okay. It worked. It was good. It was solid. The second episode was just like set up. Absolutely no payoff. Go to the next episode. Then you'll get the payoff. And then we get the payoff. And then we also get an entire extra storyline. I sorry, I just hit the damn mic. We're also, hey, we're doing this live. This is not a recording. I am doing this live. I do not have chat up. So if there's anybody chatting, I apologize. I don't see that. We'll pull it up towards the end here. It does make the video and everything wonky. I'm still working on figuring out my stream setup. I'm working. Obviously you guys saw today we have a new intro, we have a new outro, and then we got some more new graphics for the screen as well. And hopefully everything looks and turns out well and sounds good. But yeah, we are doing this live. This is happening in real time. Mistakes will probably happen because there's no, hey, if I screw up, I can just cut and edit this. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Yeah, again, too short. Thankfully, we get into episode 3. Now, it's a lawyer show. We're actually doing the lawyer show stuff, which was actually the thing I was kind of the most excited about. I love the whole lawyer show, superhuman law thing, and the whole comedy pitch, the whole basically like Ally McBeal in the MCU kind of pitch. I think that was fantastic, and that's how they kind of presented the show. And I'm really, really liking the way the third episode has gone, the direction it's taken. Oh, yes. There's a moment towards the beginning of the episode after we get through the Wong cameo. By the way, Wong cinematic universe, everybody. We all love Wong, and it's absolutely 100% okay every single time he shows up. I never have a problem with it. I think it's absolutely fantastic. He's also a great, funny character that just plays some really great humor off of it that I just absolutely enjoy. Dig it. Love it. Awesome. So we get that set up for the Emil Blonsky parole hearing. But yeah, then we get into this one section where I just couldn't help but just fall over laughing, because it's like they knew exactly what was going to happen. There's this moment where we go through, like, we're scrolling through like Twitter or TikTok or whatever the social media sites, and it's like these dudes in their 30s who are like, oh, blah, blah, they took away the Hulk's manhood, blah blah blah, all this bullshit, super sexist stuff, or misogynistic stuff, however you want to put it. That actually did happen. That it was, this fucking show was literally review bombed and had all of those stupid comments. Like they nailed it. They knew exactly what was coming. They knew exactly what was gonna happen, and it was so goddamn funny that they made a joke out of it. And I absolutely loved that. And I have nothing but respect for them to actually do that, because I'm sure they will get heat and flag for that. But it is true. That's how people treat these shows. And it's absolutely unfair because, look, Miss Marvel, great show. It was a great show. I don't care what anybody says. It was a very fun, lighthearted, very Spider-Man-esque story from Marvel. And I very much enjoyed it. And I can't wait to see that character again. She-Hulk, absolutely killing it so far. Absolutely loving it, and it's absolutely being shit on by dudes in their 30s. just go somewhere else. Go put all of your stupid negativity somewhere else. Just leave us alone. Let people enjoy what they want to enjoy. That's just that goddamn simple. Oh, anyway. We don't need to keep ranting about that. Anyway. So I love that they made a joke there because, again, that was ballsy of them. Marvel did it. They did it. They did it. Okay. The main plot of the episode was good. They also had a B plot to the episode, and it was also good. It was very funny. I love that they made fun of the one super douchebaggy character from the first episode. Like, that was hilarious to me. I think she was in the second episode as well. So, again, funny as hell. Loved it. Also, what's his name, who plays Pug, who was also Adrian Chase in Adrian Chase, also known as Prometheus, in season 5 of the show Arrow. If you guys ever watched the CW superhero show Arrow, season 5 was one of the good seasons in my opinion. First 3 seasons and season 5. 4 and 6 is the first half of 7 is amazing, and then season 8 was actually pretty amazing too. Anyway, we're not talking about that. We're not talking about that. We're talking about Marvel right now. Anyway, that character, that guy who plays that character, I don't know his actual real name, but absolutely fantastic. It's like, I think this is like the second time I've ever seen him play a character outside of that original role, and he plays a completely different type of character in this show as Pug, and I absolutely love it so far. He's doing a fantastic job. I really actually like that character. I think it's great. So yeah, I like the B plot and I like the A plot, and I love the joke when the A and B plot come together. The little fourth wall break is just hilarious. Yeah, also this episode I think was the funniest episode yet. Like they were like, the comedy, kick it up a damn notch. I absolutely love that. Also, we get introduced to the Wrecking Crew. The Wrecking Crew? What? That's not something I expected to ever really say, because that's like a really B-list group of Marvel villains. But we're getting into some weird B-list Marvel characters in this show, and I friggin' love it. I absolutely love the hell out of it. It's hilarious. It's really fun that we get to do that stuff. Absolutely enjoying it so far. I've probably said this like 1,000 times, haven't I? I'm enjoying this show. Yes, we freaking get it, dude. You're enjoying the damn show. Have I said? Anyway. Yeah, oh, one last thing about this episode before we get into Harley Quinn. We get this line from the Wrecking Crew that they have a boss, that they're working for somebody, and they were trying to mug She-Hulk and get her blood for someone. There are a billion theories at this point. And I don't know who I think it could be. I really don't know. It could be Zemo, but I don't feel like that's lined up with the direction his character's been taken in the MCU so far. But maybe there's some change there. Again, we're kind of setting up the Thunderbolts in this show a little bit. Just a little bit. We're gonna see Emil Blonsky back, by the way. He may have gotten free in this episode, but we know from the trailers that we're gonna see him again, probably at some point later in the season. So we're gonna see him again, and I think we're gonna get it. I still think he's probably gonna be. They wouldn't just bring him back not to put him in the Thunderbolts after they just announced Thunderbolts. So I think he's gonna be in the Thunderbolts. But yeah, again, could be Zemo. I think a lot of people are talking about the leader, and yes, it could be the leader. I don't know. I forget the actor's name who played the leader in. He's been in a lot of great stuff. But yeah, he could be back. I mean, he could be. I mean, come on, they got it's Tim Roth, right? Tim Roth to play Emil Blonsky again. They might have gotten him back to play the leader. Who knows? We're gonna find out. That's the big overarching narrative for this season, and I'm definitely excited to see where that goes. So, okay, that's the 3 episodes of She-Hulk. Now, I think in episode 4, we might get Daredevil. But I feel like everybody who talked about those first 4 episodes before they came out, I don't feel like any of them really mentioned anything about Daredevil. Maybe they wouldn't. Maybe they wouldn't be allowed to. But it's possible we'll see him next episode. If not, I'm gonna guess maybe even the 5th or 6th episodes is when we'll see Daredevil. Also, why is Daredevil? Is it Los Angeles? Are we in LA? I think it's LA. I think the show takes some place in LA. Why is Daredevil a New York superhero? So, a New York street level superhero in LA. What kind is legal case? What I'm trying to think. There's some good questions for you. Let me know what you guys think Daredevil is doing in LA, because that's gonna be an interesting part of the plot, I'm sure. Yeah. Okay, guys. There you go. There's She-Hulk. Let's move into the 3rd and final show. Harley Quinn season 3. Now, this is the animated series that's been on that's been on both it was the DC Universe app, and then it was just moved over to HBO Max, so it's on HBO Max now. I love and adore this goddamn show. It is unbelievably funny, ridiculously grotesque, and the most mature R-rated cartoon I've ever seen in my life. It's not an actual cartoon. It's an animated series. It really is, because it's about as R-rated as it gets, and it's fucking hilarious. It's so damn funny. The show has no business being so funny. And it works. It's not comedy that falls flat. It just always works for some damn reason. It is so funny. We're in the 3rd season. We're heading towards the end of it, and it is still unbelievably funny and incredibly well written. There are so many great moments from characters. Each of the characters is so expertly written as these just amazing versions of these characters. Also, let's give some praise to Alan Tudyk, because that man does 2 villain characters, and both of those characters he does way too well. I'm talking about Clayface and Joker. I absolutely love his performance as Joker, and his performance as Clayface just always has me rolling on the floor laughing. He's just I mean, he's a phenomenal actor regardless. Everything he's been in I have not disliked. I've absolutely enjoyed most of everything I've seen him in. And goddamn, does he play great characters in this show. Oh man. And so I think my favorite episodes this season so far have been the most recent episode 8, and the episode 6, which was the Joker episode. That Joker episode, hilarious. Tons of great jokes. But also, it's just like, why this is good. This is good, and I don't understand why it's so good. It was a great episode, and him actually becoming mayor, genius and hilarious. I love the whole reformed Joker, but he's still a supervillain, but he's a family man now. It's so good. It's that whole plot line's genius and hilarious. And then again, episode 8, which is the most recent one, they managed to be the funny and grotesque comedic show and still explore the psyche of Batman in an actual really well done way. Like the messed upness of the Batman character, they are actually like, they actually handled it incredibly well while still being funny. That really took me I was like, wow, damn, okay, this is I mean, the writing on this show is just absolutely fantastic. I mean, just absolutely fantastic. I mean, there's so many great moments from the very beginning, the whole the Poison Ivy plotline, and how that's led from Harley just wanting to make sure that Poison Ivy got to achieve her dreams basically as a supervillain, and just her being basically a good girlfriend. And you take that plot and it leads to Batman trying to resurrect his parents. Holy shit. Wow, I never thought that's where we were going to go with this. I knew at some point we were going to have to, with this whole supervillain arc, we would have to deal with the Batman side of it. But I did not see them taking the twist that they have, and I think it's absolutely been genius so far. And I really like the direction, and I'm really excited to see where the I believe that there's probably only 2 episodes left, a 9th and a 10th episode, because I believe the first 2 seasons were only about 10 episodes. So I think there's probably only going to be 10 episodes, and if so, we're definitely, shit's about to hit the fan, and it's about to get really, really weird and wild. The meta jokes and the Easter eggs in this season have been on point. I mean, the jokes have been just downright hilarious. I love it. There's so many little, like the Joker episode, they took a bunch of classic Joker lines and they put it into the like sitcom opening like sequence, or they made a joke, and it was the whole like musical number, and they put like we live in a society, and have you ever danced with the devil? Like I think I think they had a lot. Oh, and why so serious? Like a bunch of the classic Joker lines from all the movies they put in there. It was just fucking hilarious. And this latest episode, oh my god, when we go into Bruce's mind, it's the animation from Batman the Animated Series. Holy crap, that was genius. Absolutely genius. Absolutely loved that. Whoever thought of that, thank you. That was amazing. I absolutely loved that. Oh, it's just been a fantastic season. I absolutely love also how they've handled Harley and Ivy's relationship. It's, for 2 supervillains, they have a hell of a lot more healthy of a relationship than most actual people do. Absolutely love that they've been writing. They've been really, like, they've paid so much great attention to that, and they didn't like. It felt like I was like, they had so many great moments where they made you feel like, oh crap, they're gonna do the thing where they get together and then they tear them apart. And then they find their way back to love again later. They've been like hinting at that, and they're like, nope, because they actually are really healthy as a couple, and they actually really do love each other. And I absolutely love how they've written that in this season. They've done a fantastic job with that, and it's just been good. It's made for great storytelling, and it's been great entertainment. I just absolutely love just like how surprisingly heartwarming it can be sometimes. It's just like, fuck, this is good. um, yeah, these first 8 episodes, I could go into a lot of detail. I could get into like some of the funniest scenes, like the orgy scene with the Court of Owls, which just had me dying. I was just on the floor dying when that happened. Oh my god, that was so funny. But look, we've already been talking for forever. We've already been talking for forever. So I'm gonna wrap this up by saying, hell yes, Harley Quinn has gotten to season 4. I'm so excited and happy about that because I'm truly heartbroken by the fact that I think we're not gonna get a fifth season or like an ending to Young Justice, because Young Justice has been one of my absolute favorite shows that has ever existed. Absolutely adore and love that show, and I just don't. It's like nobody cares. Like nobody cares about it. Nobody said shit about it. At least I haven't read anything. They haven't They haven't like officially canceled it or axed it, but it doesn't seem like they're renewing it either. And I mean, Harley Quinn's not even done, and they're renewing it. So I'm worried about Young Justice, but at least we're getting a 4th season of Harley Quinn. Absolutely love this show. And I can't wait to talk about the last couple of episodes with you guys live here on After Show. Of course, next week, we're doing this on Friday. I'm going to try and do these on Saturdays, but we're doing next week's episode on Friday because Saturday night we're going to be talking about D23, and I can't wait to talk about that because it's going to be so good. And then that Sunday, we're doing a special bonus episode of After Show completely dedicated to the new season 5 of Cobra Kai. I can't wait to watch season 5 of that show. And we're going to bust it down in its own completely special dedicated episode. The whole season. Because you know they love to drop the entire season all at once over on Netflix. So we're going to do that as well. Okay, guys, so there we go. Lord of the Rings, She-Hulk, Harley Quinn. All right, we're going to pop over. We're going to see if anybody's in the chat, if anybody stopped in the chat at all. See if there's any quick questions. If there's not, that's okay. Because, again, we're a small community. It is what it is. If nobody's there, that's okay. All right, we're going to pop in. Let's see. Alrighty. Looks like the live chat's pretty slow. So, okay. No comments and questions. That's okay. Guys, make sure to share this stream. Get it out to all your friends. Tell them about our channel. Comment, like, subscribe, all of the fun stuff. Sorry about that. And, of course, join the Nerd Rage Network down in the description box below. You can find all of our socials, our Patreon, and very soon the brand new channels, including our second Nerd Rage channel known as Nerd Rage Reserve. Yes, guys, we finally picked a title that we all like. So, Nerd Rage Reserve is going to be our second channel, and Nerd Rage Radio also coming. And Nerd Rage Shorts is going to be renamed to Nerd Rage News. If you guys didn't see that announcement video, go back to our 8th anniversary live stream. It'll be probably the one that's right before this video. If you go and to our channel, you can check that out. And yeah, guys, that's it. There we go. There's our stream. Talked about all 3 shows, and I can't wait to talk about the third episode of Lord of the Rings, the fourth episode of She-Hulk, and the ninth episode of Harley Quinn. And potentially, I might even throw in Game of Thrones next week. I might start watching the new House of the Dragon. I haven't really gotten around to doing that yet, but we might throw that in there next too. So anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you're watching it as a playback, again, please drop comments. We will still be down there to engage in conversation with you guys, and anything, theories, anything you guys want to talk about, drop them down and we'll talk about it. All right, guys, thank you for joining.